Welcome to Cut to the Chase with Jen and Dan. My name is Dan Ferullo. And my co-host Jennifer Freed.
Good morning, everyone.
How is everyone today?
Well, I think we're doing all right on
Yeah.
the summer morning. We made it all the way to Tuesday this week. It sort of feels like a Friday Tuesday, but ready to rock these articles. We got a super exciting one here. You and I started
really
talking about this the
excited about
second
this.
one this hit.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this episode today. We have a few really great articles to talk about. The first one, yesterday, I woke up and was reading the news, and the first article that I see when I pull up my Inman headlines, Amazon makes a splash with game-changing Realogy partnership. So Amazon is now in the real estate business, which we all kind of knew was coming, but just weren't sure exactly what form it would take or how it would happen or kind of what the scenario would be. So now we have a little bit of an insight into that. So yesterday, Amazon and Realogy, which is the largest real estate company in the world, they have brands like Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's, ERA, which I've never heard of that one, so I didn't.
They have that in the Midwest a little bit more.
Do they? Okay. I hadn't heard of that one, so I didn't want to really call it out because I didn't know if other people would have heard of it. But these are some of the
Midwest matters, Dan.
It does, of course. But these are some of the major companies in real estate right now, or the largest companies in real estate right now. And so Amazon has partnered with Realogy to put out this brand new program called Turnkey. Jen, what do you think about this program?
Well, it's sort of for what happens after you close, which is not something that people give as much thought to during the real estate process because everyone's so focused on finding the right house for their buyers or helping their seller sell the house, and then the logistics of everything that happens in between signing that paper and getting it to closing. But honestly, this is an area I think it's good to chat about. So,
yeah.
Amazon, I think, has access to technology in a way, they built it where it didn't exist. So, they have a good opportunity to deliver. I wonder if it's going to get tied up in maybe some technical stuff that's going to make it a little cumbersome and a little bit less consumer friendly. I think we get excited, right? Groceries at our front door, and then I can't get it in Dover, so I'm a little sad. But
true,
what's it going to look like?
So the way the program works, the program Turnkey is in 20 markets right now. That's where they're testing it. So the seller or these potential home buyers, they go onto Amazon, they fill out a little questionnaire, and then they get connected with a Realogy affiliated agent. And Amazon Home Services will provide, they want to go beyond the transaction by offering prospective home buyers complimentary products and a value of up to $5,000 after closing for some really important post-closing things such as movers or setting furniture up or assembling, setting furniture up, assembling, that's kind of the same thing. Here, I had a whole list of what the stuff was.
So the idea is that they would
cleaning, handyman services, carpet cleaning, furniture assembly. So lots of different services depending on the price point of the property that you're purchasing.
So there's 3 different packages. What do you get for $1,000?
So for $1,000, they give you an Echo Dot, an Echo Show, and a Ring doorbell, and then $450 of credit towards services.
But you have to use their real estate agent.
You do have to use their Realogy affiliated real estate agent. So this is a really great thing for Realogy agents for sure.
Well, it kind of is, but everyone's going to want their piece, right? So now instead of the brokerage, I don't know if you guys know this, but the basic how real estate works is once you have a license, you can't just go out and help people buy and sell. You have to hang that license at a real estate brokerage. It could be a big one, like one of these agencies owned by Realogy, or it could be a boutique one like Brick and Barn where Dan and I work. Mm-hmm. So you hang your license there, and then you can start helping people buy and sell homes. So the brokerage always gets a portion of the sales, and then the agent gets a portion of the sales. So the more stuff that goes on, the more people get a piece of the pie. So now Amazon wants a piece of the real estate pie. So the idea is if you click on Amazon to get your agent, Amazon gets a piece, the agency gets a piece, and I guess the real estate agent, they might get more, might get more sales, but less price per sale for the same work. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see how it all shakes out. But what do we get for $5,000?
So if your purchase is 700,000 plus, you get the package valued at 5,000.
Oh, so I can't just sign on for the $5,000 package. It depends on how expensive the house is.
The price of your house. So you would get over $1,500 in credit towards these services, and then you'd get 4 Amazon Echoes, 4 spots, 2 Echo shows, a doorbell, all of these different things, like a deadbolt lock, all of these different smart home technologies that they're offering for free in order to make your house a little bit more connected, which is really awesome too. Lots of people we've certainly been talking about technology a lot in the past few episodes. Jen, I think this is a really awesome program. I'm actually really excited to see what's gonna come out of it. Amazon. I'm such a huge fan of Amazon in general. Anyways,
I know I like Amazon too, but I'm gonna agree to disagree on this one. I think this is a great way to get more Echo products, Ring doorbells in the house, and then people are gonna just keep buying more Amazon stuff. So Amazon keeps making more money.
Well, I don't think that was going to stop happening no matter what.
Well, no, I know that, but I think I want to pick my own real estate agent, and I don't want them feeling like they're not getting paid enough because maybe they're not going to do enough for me in terms of negotiating for me when they're really working for somebody else.
Well, that might be the case, but the way it works with when I used to work for Coldwell Banker, so I've had a little bit of experience working with their relocation programs and stuff like that. And they do only hire their top agents in order to be in the program. You have to be, at least for the relocation program, you have to have been at the company for 2 years. You have to have a certain number of certain sales volume, certain transactions. So they're selective on it. And I know the way we always looked at it was, hey, this isn't my only source of business, but this is just, an extra couple deals a year that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So, there's certain ways to look at it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, we will see how it shakes out.
Yeah, absolutely will.
We'll see. Team Jen and Team Dan when it comes to Amazon and real estate.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one. So we'll link this article up if you want to read a little bit more about how turnkey works. Excuse me. And then our second article is talking about a startup called Homeward. This is another Inman article.
This I think is really neat.
This is really neat. There's a Keller Williams agent who he is part of a team. I'm not sure exactly where his team is based, but he raised $25 million for a startup called Homeward. And basically what Homeward does is provides home buyers and home sellers, so you have to be buying and selling or trying to buy and sell at the same time, provide buyers and sellers with a way to purchase their new home with cash and then be able to sell their current home in their own time rather than having to stress about finding a home in like a week or in 30 days or selling their home. It's always such a quandary of whether they should put their home on the market and get it under contract and then try to find something, or if they should try to find something and then make it contingent on the offer being accepted, or make it contingent on their home being sold. So it can be kind of a cluster. It can be very stressful for people.
Yeah, so essentially it partners with the person who wants to buy the home. It allows the person to sell the home or to not have to sell their home straight off, gives them the cash to get into their next home. It's almost like a different version of a bridge loan.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives that person who needs to sell and buy a lot more flexibility,
Yeah.
which in a market like on the Seacoast would be really ideal because
We run
some of
into
you
so much
folks,
trouble with
yeah,
this.
some of you folks this summer who have found homes you like, but had to sell your house in order to buy, are finding that you might not be getting those offers accepted because home buyers or sellers are choosing offers where no home has to be sold in order to purchase. So this would make it such that you are free and clear to purchase without selling that home first.
Yep. And there's so much competition right now that it makes it even worse for people. So let me just go through. So I guess the process has 6 steps, and I'll just kind of read a little bit about how the whole process works. So first, a homeowner submits an online application, and the Homeward calculates your equity and provides the homeowner with an approval. It uses a combination of an AVM, automated valuation model, and then real estate experts to determine the value of the house. And then once the homeowner is approved, they work with a realtor, a real estate agent, and purchase their next home without having to list their current home. So using the Homeward's funds, the homeowner makes an all-cash offer, which is,
Really
as some
attractive.
people know, I mean, people sometimes do think that cash is king, and that's not necessarily always the case. But it certainly makes for a less stressful transaction or less questions about, there's no finance contingency, there's that's one less thing that you have to worry about.
Yeah, what he's doing here, because some might say, well, why don't I just go out and get a bridge loan? When you get a bridge loan, it doesn't tap into the equity that you have in the house that you are selling, because it's clearly tied up already with whoever it's mortgaged with. This program accounts for the equity that you have as part of the formula for how much you qualify for in terms of being part of this all cash offer. So that's how it's different than that bridge loan.
So then, and bridge loans are really a great thing too, and I wish that more people would use them, especially and sometimes I actually forget about them when I'm working with people, because it can be a stressful process as well. So sometimes people tend to not want to do it. Not all banks are able to do them either. But so then once they purchase the house, then the homeowner leases the house back from Homeward while they work on selling their old home with an agent. And then if the home doesn't sell, Homeward will buy it at a pre-agreed upon price. So it's almost like a win-win for the sellers, or for the buyer sellers. And then once the home sells, the consumer gets a mortgage and then buys their home from Homeward at the original purchase price. Homeward does charge a 1.9% fee on the home that the consumer is purchasing. But what they're seeing so far is that fee is usually covered by the savings associated with having an all-cash offer, which, I mean, in our market, I don't think that you would be able to make an offer that was at 98% of list price and get it accepted even if it's cash. So that wouldn't be, at least in our market, that wouldn't be something that people would really have as a savings. But some people may find it worth it to pay 2% just not to have to stress.
Well, and to know that no matter what, the house you want to sell is going to be sold. Whether it's sold to a person or whether it's sold to Homeward for the amount you agreed on, it's getting sold, period.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is a really awesome program. So this is only in a few markets right now. I think it said they are in, I think it said something like Colorado.
Texas, Georgia,
and Colorado. They're focused right now on increasing market share in those markets, but I think it would be really awesome if there was something like that up here in the Seacoast area. So really looking forward to see what happens with that as well. Tim Hale is the Keller Williams agent who is the CEO of this company and who is the founder. So we'll definitely be looking forward to see what Tim does with this and if he scales it up to more of a national program. We would definitely be interested in working with him on that. Awesome. So yeah, we'll link that article up as well. And then the last one is just a fun little article talking about the Rafting for Wishes event that was put on by the New Hampshire Make-A-Wish Foundation last weekend.
Yeah, an organization near and dear to both of our hearts.
Absolutely. So our brokerage, Brick and Barn Real Estate Group, they were a participant in this. We did a lot of fundraising during the spring. We raised over $3,000 with our brokerage alone. And the company itself, and I'm sorry, not the company, Rafting for Wishes, They brought in more than $228,000 this year. So the way the Rafting for Wishes works is a group of people. At least one person from every group that's participating has to be on the raft at all times. So you're on a raft in Lake Winnipesaukee for 24 hours, and I guess
Saturday it was hot, so this
week,
was
yeah,
Friday
really
overnight to Saturday, so it was right when the heat wave was about to start kicking in. So it's like a tent on a raft in the middle of the lake. It's a little tent lake. They're like on a
it's like the
inner
trampoline
tube.
things,
Yeah.
but then there's these like other rafts that have little tents on them. It's a pretty cool thing. We'll link this article up if you want to take a look at how that worked.
And that supports that stays right here to help New Hampshire families who are having wishes for chronic disease and terminal disease that they're fighting, and so it'll allow a wish for those kiddos and their families. To participate in. So I think it's a really special organization. It's a really fun way to fundraise. So we also had a shout out to 3 extra special Brick and Barners who are out there on the raft representing us.
Yes,
so,
Scott Rome, Joey Giordano, and Mike Giannoni. Thank you guys for volunteering your time to support this great program and for representing the company on the raft. That was really great of you guys.
Maybe next year we'll broadcast from the raft.
Oh, you never know. All right.
Could you make it overnight on a raft?
Ooh, I don't know.
I'm a glamper. Are you a glamper?
I don't even know what that means.
That's like glam camping. So like straight up camping is roughing it, foraging.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a camper.
I can't forage, and all of that kind of stuff.
No, I'm going to Canada next week, so we're going to be staying in a cottage, which I'm not sure. Brenda hasn't told me.
That's a glamp.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I think there's at least bathroom and running water,
right.
So I think it's not too much roughing it, but it should be a lot of fun anyways.
All right, well, these 2 glampers are going to sign off for now, and have a great week, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in. Please like us, comment, share everything as well. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.